Hello, welcome to another video. And today I guess, want to talk about Jalen Hurts. Because no matter what this man does, he's always just going to get endless hate, it seems like. And I can say I understand it for very few reasons, but the general seems like national everything. Everyone just seems to want to shit on Jalen Hurts. Mainly for a lot of things he can't control, but it's gotten to be just so batshit crazy in my head, at least. And what's stemming from this is there's stuff going on about Jalen Hurts could never do really anything to get to the level of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, stuff like that, which realistically is kind of fucking ridiculous. Just for the fact that he could win a Super Bowl and have one over them, he could come out and win an MVP next year. You never know. He was runner-up 2 years ago. It's possible. But if I'm being realistic, I understand the argument of Jalen Hurts is not in the level of Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I would never argue that. It seems pretty obvious. Jalen Hurts has moments where I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing? Which I don't think those fan bases have with those players, at least usually not. And that's fine with me. I never expect Jalen Hurts to necessarily be the best quarterback in the NFL. I've never really claimed that. Is he good? Yeah. He's really goddamn good. He's going to his second Super Bowl. And the man just wins football games. But see, you can't really say that because people on the other side of the tennis court hit back at you. Oh, look at his team. He's got the best O-line. He's got the best wide receivers. He's got the best running back. He's got the best defense in football. How couldn't he win? But then also in this next sentence, talk about how the Eagles are like either overrated or that they have no chance against the Chiefs and yada, yada, yada. Like it seems so odd because there's so much contradicting yourself when you're trying to shit on Jalen Hurts while then also saying that the Eagles aren't that good. Because if that is your argument, then you should just sit there and assume that the Eagles are going to blow out the Chiefs. Sorry. Unless Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback in the NFL. And he's not. He's really good. That's what he is. The best quality that he has is that he doesn't fuck up all the time. A lot of quarterbacks fuck up all the time in the worst goddamn moments. If you look at the Eagles on their way to the Super Bowl, even just this year, Jordan Love. People love Jordan Love. He was fucking horrible because he made terrible mistakes. It loses you games. It's a very important thing. Jalen Hurts doesn't seem to make those absolutely crucial mistakes. Matthew Stafford, legend. I think he's easily a Hall of Famer. I don't know if that's very controversial, but he easily is a Hall of Famer. Made mistakes. His last throw, he overthrew the guy by like fucking 5 yards. He fumbled at least once. Oh, the weather. Jalen Hurts was playing on one leg at the time. Did Jalen have a good game that game? No. That's fine. But he didn't make the back-breaking fucking problem incident that ruined the game for them. The safety was... that's teetering the line. But then you look at Jane Daniels. Now that's a bit different because his team... like, realistically, they weren't ready to be there. He was great. He was great. He threw a pick. Just saying. But he was great. Can't really say, oh, he lost them the game or he made the big bad decision that fucked him up. I think their coaching kind of put them in a hole early, more so than anything else. But so be it. And I think people don't talk about that enough. If they talk about, oh, he wins a lot of games, oh, he knows how to win, yada, yada, they don't really ever explain it. Because it's always been very obvious that he doesn't turn the ball over. And if you do, it's usually really bad. To be fair, he doesn't make up for it with 40 passing touchdowns to offset his turnovers, right? Like some quarterbacks will throw more picks, but they also throw 30 more touchdowns. It's like, yeah, you know what? I guess we'll live and die by that. Jalen Hurts isn't like that. And if you look at last year, probably his worst year, He threw 15 interceptions, worst of his career, by far, had the most turnovers. They struggled. I mean, they started 10-1, which is pretty insane, and then they fell apart. That was a whole team thing, but he also was turning the ball over a lot more, which was not good for the team. even though he didn't throw a pick in the playoff game. So, well, whatever. But I do understand other fan bases talking shit about Jalen Hurts, mainly because it's a different fan base, because it's like, yeah, you can hate my quarterback all you want. I'm going to another Super Bowl. You really can't shit talk me that much. You know, I'm sorry, fucking Jared Goff or whoever, who I don't think is really bad, but they're not making it however far. They're fucking up when they're not supposed to. My guy ain't. But the people that I don't understand is any Eagles fans, because there is Eagles fans that hate Jalen Hurts for, to me, no fucking reason. The Eagles are going to their 4th Super Bowl since 2000, or honestly, I think 4th ever. No, they went a long time ago, maybe. But he's going to a 2nd one. The amount that he wins for the team should make every Eagles fan have the understanding of, yes, this guy isn't fucking Joe Montana throwing the football. I don't know who you want to compare him to for like arm talent or whatever bullshit. Sure, but guess what? I don't know. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is going to 2. He doesn't fuck up when he can't fuck up. You know? I don't know. It just seems so simple that he does not lose football games. He doesn't actively do the losing play. Typically, especially in the playoffs. Last year's playoff game, that was an absolute embarrassment. That was all on the defense. Jalen didn't play great, obviously. A.J. Brown was hurt, which definitely hurts. But the man always does what he has to do to win football games. He's been doing it since fucking day one. His first year as a starter, he went 8-7, and his best wide receiver was a rookie Devontae Smith who had 900 yards. Let me double check who his number 2 was, because I honestly have no idea. His second highest receiver, Dallas Goedert, sure, 830, and Quez Watkins was their number 2 wideout. Boy, doesn't that sound like a fucking winning formula. Oh, mind you, the player that led the team in rushing yards that year, you wouldn't believe it, but it was Jalen Hurts. What a fucking team he had in 2021, and guess what? Still made the playoffs. And that was the first time when people were like, oh, I don't think he's going to be a leader. I don't think he can do this for a franchise, yada, yada, yada. Oh, all of a sudden we trade for A.J. Brown and now we have a super team. It's not that fucking hard and complicated. When you have a rookie QB on a rookie contract, if you can go and get a superstar wideout to be, help him and whatnot, you do it because you can afford it. It's like the Washington Commanders probably should see the trade or sign a really good wideout because they can afford it right now when Jaden Daniels doesn't make fucking $60 million. But the other stuff too with Jalen Hurts, which is just like funny, where people just talk shit about him, and it's always the counting stats, like the Neanderthal type of stats. They're the most common ones because they're the easiest to read. But if you even look in like advanced stats though, he's typically doing well in most of them. The ones that he might struggle in is like if he's under pressure and stuff, where your eyeballs can tell you that he's not great, like when he's going through that. It's not the biggest surprise in the world. But little do you know, he's one of the better deep ball throwers in football, which everyone just talks shit about him throwing the football. And I think a lot of that has to do with this year, with the fact that they had Saquon Barkley. They understood they had Saquon Barkley after the first month when they were 2-2. And they knew they had a great O-line. And they were like, why are we trying to be cute about this? Why are we trying to do this and that? Why don't we just do what we're absolutely great at and win games that way? And that's what they've done all season. Jalen Hurts hasn't had to be, this superstar passing the ball. I think he's understood that. I think he's been told that listen, we don't need everything out of you. We don't need you to carry the team, stuff like that. We're going to do good defense. We're going to run the football. And I think that was part of the whole straitjacket bullshit that turned into some issue, even though I think that's the craziest issue ever. But I think part of that is him being like, yeah, like there was a game where it wasn't just, hey, let's have Saquon do what he does, play it safe, super conservative, slowly churn out a win. They're like, okay, they're going to throw the box at him. Let's beat him with your arm. And he did that. I have full faith that he's going to be able to do that in the Super Bowl. I have faith that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to do that his whole career because he's done it his whole career. I don't know. I think the argument that he has a great team is ridiculous because he doesn't make the fucking team himself. He doesn't get to go back there and be like, oh, you know what, A.J. Brown, please go to the bench. Bring in Paris Campbell. Devontae Smith, go to the bench. Bring in Isaiah Smith, or however his first name is pronounced. And Goddard, get out of there. Put Calcaterra in there. Oh, the whole O-line. I want to try to do this with the bad O-line. Come here. Come here, backups. They'd still probably be better than half the fucking team's O-line. So I just think it's ridiculous. He has no control over that. He's in a very good team. And guess what? He wins still. I don't think a bad quarterback is still doing this well with this team. I think that's ridiculous. But people are going to say forever. I just hope he wins the Super Bowl. I have faith that he's going to. And that people can just shut the hell up a little bit about it. At least if they win, they have to at least, say that he is a Super Bowl champion. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, consider subscribing. Be sure to leave your comment on your thoughts on Jalen Hurts and whatnot and the hate he gets and yada yada. It's exhausting. But I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Go Birds.